G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an MC, a Mike Charlie 25 hunting shotgun. It's got custom sounds and uses the same animations as a combat shotgun, and basically that's it. It's a fairly basic thing I've got for you today, but I think we're going to have some fun with this thing anyway, because you'll notice the damage here is 362, and generally shotguns, they don't get that high damage, especially on advanced receivers, but this thing's still running standard, so I think we've got ourselves a little bit of a powerhouse here, and the fun doesn't stop there, because unlike regular shotgun mods where they'll give you basically the same as what you'd get out of the vanilla guns receivers, this has got a little bit of an extra spicy explosive receiver and also flame receiver. So obviously that's just the explosive legendary effect thrown on here, not reflected by a tiny little text here to say, hey, this thing's explosive, look out, you might die. But that is definitely explosive bullets there, and you can tell that just by the damage. There's also a flame receiver here, which does give you slightly better damage, but it'll probably just use the incendiary legendary effect projectiles, which do basically minimal amounts of burning damage, so they're not super worth it, but the traces are cool enough. I think we can leave those for later. We'll equip them on other ones, because for this time, explosive won't feel like cheating, because it's offered by the mod, and for no perk requirements, you only need these things to throw explosive on this shotgun. Interesting choice. Let's go for the advanced receiver, which is actually gated behind gun nut rank 3. Don't worry about it. And right now I've got a short barrel. You can have a longer barrel or a medium barrel. If you want to have somewhere between VATS efficiency and range, then you've got that. Either that, you've got the range specialization here, or VATS specialization, which at 47 range, you're going to have to be like at point blank range to actually get this to hit anything in VAT. So definitely always go for the longer barrels on your shotgun. Extending the range is definitely going to be sort of how you'll figure out its performance. And anyways, right now we've got a short stock, you can have a full stock, a marksman stock, which is better aiming with scopes. Whether you can actually apply a scope to this, I'm not sure at the moment, but a recoil compensating will help us really on that recoil a little bit, and a 12 gauge shotgun, feel like that's pretty nice. Right now we've got a standard magazine. You can have a medium, big, or a drum magazine underneath there. Very neat looking drum, don't you think? And now we get to the sights, which you can actually put scopes on, and you can tell that's the same scope from a combat shotgun, but the Picatinny rail here doesn't extend all the way out to support the front of that, so that's interesting. But there we go, that's a proper hunting shotgun there, don't you think? There's also reflex sights, which are that of the vanilla game as well. I feel like they work pretty well. You can also throw a microwave on the top of this thing if you feel like it, but maybe we'll save that for a version made for range. Right now we'll just go for a reflex sight, which you can only get them in circles apparently. That's fine. And you can have some muzzles on this, including a bayonet, compensator, muzzle brake, or suppressor. I'm going to go with suppressor because that 639 damage is going to be absolutely devastating, although our range here is going to be absolutely horrible now. But you can also change the amount of projectiles this thing shoots. So multiple projectiles is just your standard thing, but if you go with a single projectile, you get less damage, on paper maybe, but you'll get an increased range. So you can use this for a potential sniping I guess, weapon, which for a shotgun I think is ironic. But that's the MC-25, fairly basic of course, but we like the creativity in all forms and shapes, so we'll get started. We'll make a few more of these. Also, it's a leveled-less injection weapon, so look out for your fallen enemies. They might be carrying this thing and shooting at you before you kill them. That's how you get it. Okay, so weird thing about this weapon is that when you first make this thing or add it to your inventory via console commands, you've got the option of making it either multiple projectiles or single projectiles. Currently, it is none. For some reason, it's just got the normal shotgun spread and everything, but if you go over to multiple projectiles, that's where you'll get your damage at the cost of range. So that's an interesting little quirk about this mod, I think. But if you want all of the damage in the world, you got to go for the multiple projectiles. And once you put that on, you'll never get that range back, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Righto, it's time to get very close and personal. This is the MC-25. It's what it looks like in first person. Suppress this thing sounds identical to the combat shotgun, but without the suppressor, there's just a little tinsy-wincy little bit of Fallout 3 combat shotgun sound there. I think this thing sounds absolutely great. And we've got a couple of other variants, including this one, which is supposed to be explosive, but I guess the projectile override was overridden again by this. So this is just another one with it. Okay, I might have to put explosive on second here. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it by taking the suppressor off. I couldn't get this thing to fire explosive with the suppressor, so you know what? Whatever, it's balanced. Anyways, this is the explosive receiver. Note the spread on this thing is pretty much minimal, so I feel like we're going to get a whole lot of range out of this thing, whether intentionally or not. And I've also got one with a big TV on the top. This is the version with the slug, so we're going to do a bit of sniping before we get started. Some shotgun sniping. Now, I feel like in terms of like proper balance, what you'd want to do with a slug most of the time, just to prevent shotguns from becoming wonder sniper weapons, is A, make them slightly inaccurate. That's one, but also make it so they can't be okay, that's our first near critical there. For some reason, we weren't getting them before. It works with sniper, good. Yes, okay, it's not very good at range, is it? No. The sniping thing didn't work out, but I think having hit scan projectiles for a rifle, for a weapon like this, I think is pushing it a little bit. Anyways, let's get started here. We've got a big old drum magazine in this, and we'll try to clear up as many as we can. And looks like we're one-shotting everything. And that is an MG-42 not hitting as hard. I cracked it with the MG-42 spam yesterday, and I halved the damage, and now it feels a little bit more survivable down here. And I'll probably need it today as a shotgun user, I think. And by the way, I haven't reloaded this thing yet. We're still going. We've got 6 rounds in this magazine yet to shoot, and we're cleaning house here. I don't think we'll be doing quite so well from back here, although we're getting hundreds of damage per projectile from back here. So, yeah, okay. The word overpowered comes to mind, but that's okay, because this is like the most powerful shotgun I've ever used. And this is the first time for everything. Because normally, you've got the ones that they work all hard on the balance, and then, like, it doesn't work out because all of the damage reduction from very hard difficulty just causes issues with how the projectiles and damage are calculated. Let's use the slug version at closer range now. That bastard threw a flashbang at me. Wasn't quite close enough to do any really disorienting, so we resisted that quite nicely. But anyways, now that we're nice and close, we're not getting those significant range penalties, we are making easy work of those gunners. Haha! There's an advantage for this thing being hit scan. I totally just went pull, and then the clay... Do they call them pigeons? The clay pigeons at the shotgun shoot? I mean, they got bird shot, so it's cheating, right? But still. I said pull, and then Todd Howard threw that other gunner up, and yeah, okay, we're getting severely hampered by range from back here. Headshot for only 78 damage, so that ain't gonna fly. Let's go loud and proud for a bit. Okay, so this is the fire receiver, by the way, just if you're wondering. Doesn't appear to be any projectile overrides happening here. Perhaps I put a suppressor on this thing, then immediately removed it. That might cause it, but... Oh, it appears to be a singular projectile, and now we got to worry about almost dying. Ooh, let's just exercise a little bit of caution here, I think. Just kidding, we're using explosive now. We have to. We need the extra power out of this round, because if we don't... Actually, no, we got some health back, thanks to those couple of kills in Nerd Rage. Also, I'm hearing some shooting from somewhere else. Yeah, that's an expected one-shot kill, so that's fine. There we go, there's another one. And I think there's one more gunner in there. We'll see them in just a second, but every now and then, Rust Devils show up, and I think that's happened again. So I'm just gonna, like, snipe them from back here. No problems taking out these guys. And a cheeky little heal along with that. Now, I'm fairly sure I could just spray the ground here, and things will be fine.
Nice.
Yep. Just a couple of quick shots into the ground, and she's all done. Oh, you're over there. For some reason, I thought you'd be still in that metal shack. Alright, so MC-25 Master Chief 25 shotgun. It's just rolled immersive Gunner's Plaza. Possibly overpowered could be used here, but I'm just happy to have a shotgun worth shooting every once in a while, you know? It's going to be a little bit of a cruisy one today, I think, but that's fine. It's, we've been struggling a little bit lately. Okay, I kind of want to see how we'd go utilizing stealth with this thing, but with the buckshot projectiles, because as long as we can sneak up close to this guy, and is he going to let us today? He's actually going to let us. That might help, like, for the first couple of shots, but... Uh-oh. His friends don't understand this gesture of kindness. We'll just, take them out. Hopefully we don't hit Swan in the meantime. We did, in fact. Never mind. Okay, so it's not every day where I can just take buckshot and kill Swan with it so fast, you know? So I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. I'm going to try to get some cheeky headshots here and there as well. There we go. 199 damage there. He's exhibiting strange behavior. He doesn't want to charge at me. As far as I'm aware, they don't scan for what kind of gun you're using for the enemy behavior. Excuse me? There's a settler here. You've got a fighter on you. Come here.
Hey. Don't much care for good neighbor. That place is nothing but trouble.
Okay, well, sure. Fair enough. But what are you doing here? Is that like a random encounter from Tales of the Blues? She's out of there. Oh, well, today I prevented her from getting her skull caved in by Swan's giant anchor, so I suppose everything's good. Okay, I have to do this at least once. Shotgunning with explosive from back here. Hoping for a cheeky little stagger on this fella, so... yeah, he's perma-stunned there. And that's another level up. Good stuff. Now I'm going to explosive canister shell these insects from ages away. We're cross-map shotgun sniping, and there's no trouble over at Warwick Homestead today. Great news. The enemies here they're not wanting a taste of this shotgun, but we're gonna find it, and I'm going to switch over to night now and see if I can get some sweet stealth criticals with the buckshot just to see how much damage we could do there. Okay, so we have found the lobsterman's lair, and let me tell you something, a little bit of behind the scenes trivia for you. This guy usually kicks my ass, so today I'm looking to turn the tables. Oh yeah, you don't like that, do you, buddy? Not a fan of that. And I was getting like 300 damage per shot there, which is good stuff, and even you don't want to charge at me. What's the deal here? Like, they're not like Destiny enemies that'll actually back off if you've decided to use a shotgun. So, yeah, he usually goes for the claws and gets basically point-blank range next to you. Also, I've just been subconsciously sidestepping all of his spits there. But honestly, I think you get the point. The lobsterman is down. He dropped us a Junkie's light grenade launcher. Man, Junkies on this thing with all of the addictions in the game, basically one-shot everything on buckshot, even at ranges where you've got the half damage penalty. Anyways, the prize is mine. All of these wild tar berries now belong to me. And I think I'm going to call it there. So this was the MC-25 shotgun. So just a little bit of a... you could potentially just call it a reskin of the combat shotgun, but improved damage, and I think that's a pretty valid thing. There's a couple of things that have implemented to make it different from normal weapons in this game. Obviously, the multiple projectiles or single projectile thing, that's not something we've seen. I mean, that is something we've seen in weapon mods around, so others just say using either buckshot or slug for those types of attachments. There's no such sort of flavor on this one. It just sort of tells you what it's going to do. And it is unfortunate the elemental receivers, as it were, explosive, and the flame ones don't really work all that well. So that might be something to look at if you're still interested in improving and making this mod better, whoever the mod author is, if they are currently watching this video. Hi. And I think I could probably recommend this one to download, because it's not a hefty download, and if you want a cool new looking shotgun that's been pretty well designed to work well with the current animation sets, then look no further than this one. It's kind of neat. I think it's got a little there's a little bit of brilliance in its simplicity, I think. It's not trying to prove itself, it's just saying, hey, it's a cool shotgun, come use it, you might have fun, and isn't that what it's all about at the end of the day? Just thinking about the double standards I have towards modders, and I guess they're not double standards, but the standards I have towards modders and like the developers of Fallout 76. Like if there was like a combat shotgun in that game that just retooled combat shotgun animations, I'd say this is terrible. But you know what? Whatever. This is not made by a professional game dev. This is just a little bit of a hobby, perhaps a passion project that I think has done pretty well here, and hopefully we see more out of this mod author as time goes on. Thank you very much for watching, guys.